tapu pe moe a fio ai o tu ai ka tau loto loto me o tu ai o ku mafi pe au diu tapu atu ki a o puna o e ki tu hama tapu re tapu atu ki he fahu o kune mea whakalangilangi tau mua na tapu atu ke uru motua na tapu atu ki he uitou pe masi whanau kaya na tapu atu ki a hataulai Vere whatapu ki he whare kere kere o pekia o kune toka i ono whakalake pā i e pōkoe. Whatapu atu ki he sola pe moe langi. I no taha kotoa pē tau kau whataha i aho koe ni e tau kātoanga fia ai mo ui a Malakai Vaipulu a koe whaife kau koe pure ako koe huse pāniti a koe tamayo eiki a Sihova a tumbua ke whakakato ai tau whakawhamiri i he pō koe ni o e tau Fakamavae ia mo heloni Malakai koe Palestini o e ngawe the Assemblies of God in New Zealand a behe ki e taki a Tongan ethnic AOG in New Zealand Bau lava mai pia mo i kāinga ngai siasi ke whai peha tau whāmiri i he pō koe ni i mau whawhi ao i ho wholau o pō koe ni ke tau kamata aki o e whawhamiri o e whiawhikoeli a e tau hiki whawhetai pa mo hiki whakamalo i ho tau otunga. Tala mai he sā me te au tau hui ono ngai matapā pa mo e whawhetai e ki hono ngai loto a pa mo e whakamalo he oku lelei a Sihova. Leo ngō whatatahai tau tole whaiwhekau Malakai he aho koe ni. Ka koe wholofola ai otua e tau hui hono matapā ka koe whawhetai i hono ngahi loto a e tau awe whamalo e oku nelelei lahi. E tau hanga ki e lotu hiri pe koe ia e whawhei toko taha kotoa pe. O taha kotoa pe ke tau katanga ko meake ki o lunga e tau hiki ai e whawhetai mo whamalo e ta taki tau tolu he kau hiwa mo worship team i he pōko e ni ai whawhetai ka mo whamalo e o tua mau whamalo atu ke te koe whawhetai atu ho maulau mari e e ongo koe pōko e ni o ku kau pō uri e anga whanonga e mo uini Kau whawhetai o kei huhulu mai e mama ai a Fiona. Hulungi ai pōuri. Tō ato e whaingataa. Whawhetai. E kune whatatahai ki mau tolu he aho koni ho tamai o eiki. Ka tuake mau ato e whawhetai ka mo e whamalo. Koe fua ho mau mutu, koe whakamalo ka mo e whawhetai. He loto a, he loto lotonga o e a Fiona. O mau loto ai ke te koe. E ke tataki e mau anga e pō koe ni. I e whakawhetai ka moe hu. I ho wholofola. I e ngahi sāme hiwa. Ai mea kotoa pē te mau whai. I whakawheao ku mau whai ki he whai whekau ni. E whakalangilangi pē huafa o e a Fiona. I a Sisu Kalaisi. Ko mau whako ui. Whawheto tā kotoa pē. Mga nere akita. Kau whakawhetai pa mo whamalo. Tataki tau tolu he kau hiwa. I e pōko e ni.
He prayer tonight, Father. All glory and honor and praises be yours, for then was the heart of the great man of God we are here to farewell. In Jesus' glorious name I pray. Amen. Amen. Malo pito mo kata kifukilalo. Please be seated. Kole ke whamalumalu atu pehi he whakatapu ne ko oswhai me luani. Kai wange ke te au ki whainga maari e koe ni. Ke whai e ko lea Fakamavae ke hoku toko ni. Ko tari ko au ke tai hamai. Kia puluno, pia mo ulumotua o e family Vaipulu. O kohonga o pito kia te mautolu Assemblies of God. Ai tukuangi mo ki mautolu ai po Fakamavae koe ni. O kai koha mea si I he kou ilo koe mea ai family. Kako huinga ko mo tukuangi mai kia te mautolu ke mau whakarere ai polokalama Fakamavae mo Malakai. O ko wate whamalolo tohonga. Ka ko kore atu pe. Ke whakamore iange whine motu ani. Ko hinga he ko whakaapa-apalahi ki hoku taki. Ko e Palestina, Assemblies of God and Usilani, pe ke Pureako, o Alpha Cruces College. Pe mo e kaunga aue. I he ului ofisi ai Assemblies of God and Usilani. O nau me aheni mo tau tolu tupe moa ke whai atu haki wawaku he tau rea honoa ko hinga ke nau mahinoi ai uhinga ai lea ko whai pea ka pau e iai ha whihalaki sai pe ko tau rea honoa. It's a pleasure for me to welcome the Superintendent of the Assemblies of God of New Zealand, Reverend Eliafia Serra, the National Director of the Assemblies of the Alpha Cruces College, Reverend Liana Kukutai, and the Superintendent's team from our head office, Reverend Pastor Sola Chand and Pastor Ani Tangimataiti. It's not a small thing for me and for all of us that you are here. And I'd also like to acknowledge the leader of the World Tongan Assemblies of God, Pastor Filimone Ma'u, who's also the widow's older brother, and he's here with us. And I believe that Malakai's company owner is also here. So I would like to share what my farewell note with my best friend in our second language, so everyone can understand, because I know that you've been living in New Zealand for long and everyone can speak English. So don't criticize me for being Fiapalangi. It's only polite to use a language that everyone can understand. I'd just like to read a couple of verses from 1 Samuel chapter 14, verses 6 and 7. And I'll explain to you why I chose these two verses. This is between Jonathan and his armor bearer. This is Jonathan. Come, let's go over to the outpost of those uncircumcised men. Perhaps the Lord will act in our behalf. Nothing can hinder the Lord from saving, whether by many or by few? This is the armor bearer's response. Do all that you have in mind. Go ahead. I'm with you, heart and soul. Lili whatonga pea aku hao ke tau ki apitanga o fili. Pau pe toko ni ki tau e Sihova. Hek malava pe Sihova ia ke whakahauwhi a ki e toko lahi pe koe toko sii. Pea tare tangata to o mahafu. Laka atu. Koa weni hotu a. Pou ka kato kia te koe. Whai e mea kotoa ki o whakaukau. Te pou ka kato kia te koe. I e loto o lau Maria. Again in English. Do all that you have in mind. Go ahead. I'm with you, heart and soul. Those were the exact words Malakai said to me when we started out in this leadership journey, December 2019. I hadn't worked with Malakai before. I didn't know what kind of person he was. But I chose him to be the assistant when I was called to lead the Tongan Ethnic Assemblies of God. And he said to me, Hina, do all that you want to do. Whatever your vision, whatever your goal is, do it. I'm behind you, heart and soul. And he was true to every single step of the way we walked. Funny enough, I cast a vision in February 2020. We had our combined and I shared my heart with the pastors. And I laid down the points of what I wanted to do. But you know what happened. COVID happened. And I think this was the first term in history, in the history of the Tongan ethnic, that we had only one combined for the whole year. And then the second year, we had 2.5 combined because COVID decided to intervene again. But guess what? God is not limited by combined services, by the huge number, like what Jonathan said to his armor bearer. God can save with many or with few. 2020, I wanted to train our pastors in the Bible school. And Malakai was with me all the way. Unfortunately, most of the times the Tongan students often could not complete their courses, maybe because the study load is unfamiliar to them, or financially they couldn't afford the fees. So we decided with Malakai, we were going to provide the funding. Neither of us had the money, but we had the ideas. And Malakai, if you know him, he was a man of few words, but his action did speak very loudly. So we approached Alpha Crucis College and we told them that our students, because Alpha Crucis College is NZQA accredited, a lot of Tongan groups have their own Bible schools, but it's not recognized in New Zealand because it's not NZQA accredited. We wanted to do something worthwhile so that when students finish, it would be endorsed and recognized in New Zealand. So we approached Alpha Crucis College and we said, you know, some of our students may not be able to write their essays in English. Is it all right if we could buddy them up with university students who may translate their essays from Tongan into English? And it was, because it's level 4, they approved. And that started off, we got excited. We had over 30 students enrolled. Mostly women were the ones who had the gut to enroll. The men wanted to be ordered, meaning they just listen. One ear and out through the other. That's why, but we pushed on. We enrolled the students that wanted to enroll. We had did we have any dropouts? No, we didn't have any dropouts because we had the buddy system. And we decided to have a gala day because COVID had not happened then. We decided to have a gala day and we raised 20K, right? 20K. And then we went into lockdown. So we had the money, we had the funding. So lockdown happened, but we carried on with our college. We called it the Tongan Hub. Carried on. And I want you to know that on the 9th of July, 11 of our initial cohort students are graduating with level 4 certificate, NZQA accredited from Alpha Crucis College. Malakai, you saw us through that. What I value most about Malakai is he's always, Hina, how's this? Hina, how's that? You all right? He was always checking up on me because a leader needs prompting and needs to know you have support. So that was 2020. 2021, when we started, previously, the Tongan ethnic usually collect money from churches in registration every 2 months to run our programs. But when we started, we knew the law had changed, and if we had continued, even though it may be under the table, it's still illegal and God sees. So we decided to do it according to the book. So we decided to have a gala day as well, to raise funding, to run our programs, pay for the venue, pay for the speakers, all that. And we also raised enough. And that fundraising in 2020 had seen us through the COVID up to now. We have, I believe, God had achieved a lot through us because Malakai and us and I marched to the same beat. My vision was his vision. My agenda was his agenda. He had no hidden agendas. He came to me in 2021 and said, Hina, can you bring me a speaker to speak at my combine? And I said, okay. I invited the speaker We had the seminar, the speaker for Sunday. We had the seminar on Saturday. We had the youth on Saturday night. When we were mingling outside over coffee, everyone received the text, Auckland is going into lockdown at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. That cancelled the speaker. And I had forgotten all about it. This year we are back into our combine starting at the end of this month. Malakai called me because our Alpha Cruises Tongan Hub meets every Tuesday evening in Penrose at the school campus, every Tuesday evening. He called me to one of the classroom and said, Hina, you remember the speaker you invited last year? Can you get him back to speak at our combine, because they're hosting the August one. I said, I'll get you another speaker because that speaker is speaking at my combine in June. I cheated. So he said, can you please invite Sola to come and speak on Saturday? Sola works at the head office and she knows the ins and outs of the movement, and he knows every single pastor, Tongan pastor here, very well, so well. So he said, can you please get Sola to come and speak on Saturday? I want her to talk to our pastors and explain to them their responsibility to the movement. Explain to them clearly, and that was Malakai's heart. I said, okay, Malakai, Sola is here tonight, and she knows, and she's prepared to come and speak on Saturday. Everything you shared with me, I promise I will see it happen. And then earlier this year, he said, Hina, you take care of the Tongan Hub. I have trained my daughter for the church, for Jordan River Jordan. Because one of the things I had set out in my vision from 2020 was not only one was not fulfilled, and that was church planting. He said, I'm going to go and look after church planting. I can go even outside of Auckland. Don't think that Malakai hasn't achieved that, because 2 Sundays ago, the person we had spoken to about church planting outside of Auckland showed up at our church. So I called him and said, can I talk to you? So when I approached him, he said, Hina, I've been waiting. You told us you were coming. But because of COVID, that person is here tonight, and he brought his donation to mark the beginning of the church that he was going to go and plant. So Malakai did achieve everything he promised me he would. Monday last week, I was excited to tell him that I had met the person, and he said he was looking forward to getting Malakai to come. I rang Anna, and from Anna's tone of voice, I knew there was something different. So I called up the committee members and said, we need to go and visit Malakai. He was at home. when we went there, we were confronted by the reality of his condition. Because Anna always said, Malakai said, don't worry, you have lots to do, don't worry, he's fine. When we went on Monday evening with the committee, as soon as Malakai saw me, he started crying. I didn't want to cry because you see my devotion plan that I follow, it happened to be that week was full of promises of Jesus healing. And that day was Jesus feeding the 5,000. But there was a phrase he said. He asked the disciples, what do you have? And the disciples said, just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And Jesus said, bring them here to me. I grabbed that because I was fighting so hard to hold on to my best friend. I said, Jesus, I'm bringing to you Malakai. Heal him, please don't take him from me. The committee members prayed for Malakai and we quoted scriptures of faith because we wanted to see him healed. Tuesday, it was Jesus. My devotion was about Jesus rebuking Peter for his doubt when he started to walk on the water and he took his eyes off Jesus to look at the wind and the waves, so he started to sink. And Jesus rebuked him, and I said, I believe that Malakai will be healed. Wednesday, I went to the hospital, and my devotion was on Jesus healing the Canaanite woman's daughter, delivering from demon possession because of her faith. I held on to that faith. I was fighting so much to claim to all promises of Jesus healing. Even though Malakai told me, Hina, my strength is failing. I can't stand. I refused to believe that it was the end. Thursday morning, I received a phone call from Anna a few minutes after Malakai passed. And she said, Hina, Malakai is gone. For the very first time in my journey as a leader, I felt vulnerable. As if I had no rear guard. Because you see, Malakai was a man of action, few words, but he was true to his words. He was backing me up all the way. I felt so vulnerable. I was in the middle of class. I sent my students to breakout rooms and I cried. The very first person I thought of to call was my spiritual dad. I called him and I cried and I said, Malakai is gone. He said, gone where? My best friend, my right-hand man. Thank you so much. For giving me your heart and your soul because you trusted that I had no hidden agenda. You knew my heart because you could see my heart, your heart in me. We wanted to serve the God we love to the best of our ability. You have fulfilled because of your sincerity of heart. And because of your faith, God was true to you. He honored your vision and your dream. The Tongan Hub is running well. Graduation is in a few weeks' time. You are imprinted in the students' hearts because they saw your humility and your love. Thank you for covering for me, because I was at the front with a huge vision. You were at the back with the support that was needed to run that vision. Thank you for accepting me, a woman and younger than you. That's a heart of a true leader. And God has honored you in the highest way by completing. He has brought the person in the church that we were going to plant here tonight. And He has brought the whole movement in your superintendent, your national director, and the team from head office, who also happen to be teachers at the Bible College. That's such a high honor. Thank you, my friend. And you have left a legacy in Anna and the girls. And I know that legacy will live on, because you did it in the purest heart that God honors. Thank you so much. That's only a little of how I have journeyed with my assistant. But I believe God, even though I cried, I knew that God has never made a mistake. There will be greater things achieved beyond Malakai. And I salute you, Malakai. You are the best. And I honor you with all my heart. Father, I thank you. Thank you for gifting me at this right time with the right person. You called him home. But I know that the work must carry on. And I know that this is a seed that will be multiplied to the Tongan ethnic. And I know that we are going to reap the seed that Malakai has planted before you called him home. I thank you, Father. May glory, honor be yours alone as we continue to remember the great works this great man of God has done. In Jesus' precious name I pray. Amen. Amen. Kataki peku I was given the right to run the program tonight, which is not very Tongan, but I'm going to let you know how we're going to run the program. Kaupunake, Buhene Kaupunake, Fafetak. Kone ospe ko ni hoko te afia me Whakaeki, Fitongtong e Kaupunake. O kuia e hala o e apea kotohi tapu, Alpha Crucis College, ke nau pure ako. Koe lava tu leva ai apea kotohi tapu ki tu ai taimini, teu mai o mouhala. Koe e hao e toko taha whakahoko ai hala o e apea kotohi tapu, pea mo e nau manatu melie. Don't worry, the memory, only 2 people have been selected to say them, share their sweet memories. This is the Alpha Crucis College Tongan Hub. To share their sweet memories, I told them 2 to 5 minutes max. And one of them will be representing the graduates. That's the first cohort. One of them will be representing the audit. Akau whanongo pe koe atata. Taetohi. Alpe koe he. And one of them is representing the current students. And that person has asked to sing a song. He's a composer. A Pentecost composer. So he's a not Pentecost or just Tongan ethnic Pentecost composer. He's going to sing his song. He loves writing songs for occasions. So I think he may be singing using Malakai's name tonight. So please respect. And so after that, the youth also has a memory they want to share and a song to sing. And I believe Sola will have a chance to share something. And Malakai's company owner will have something to share. You'll get a chance to share. And yes, I believe the families all did their sharing last night, so the families don't want to have a spot tonight, except maybe for Malakai's girls. Yeah, just joking, we have plenty of time. But 2 to 5 minutes, okay? 2 to 5 minutes max. If you go longer than that, I'll switch off the mic from the back, so no one can hear you. Okay, and it's your signal to sit down. And then from district, Malakai's district, if you have any memories to share, but again, 2 to 5 minutes max. And anyone else from the church, if you want to share. But 10 o'clock. Have we got much time? That's why 2 to 5 minutes. We have plenty of time. It's 2 minutes to 8 now. We are running Palangi time, not Tongan time. 10 o'clock, we'll hear from our superintendent, because Palestine Lahi Asiasi, Reverend Eliafi, he will close our service tonight. Okay? Malo Aupito, Kaupunake, Mohivehiva mai, Alfia. Lotonga koyap atape filoaki. Relax. Don't make me tense up here. Relax. This is a farewell for a great man who loves everyone, loved and smiled. So just relax. Don't be too formal. There's no protocol. The only protocol is godly protocol. If you do something ungodly, that's not acceptable. Anything that is within, that is biblical, go ahead and do it. Okay? So, malo au pito,